Yo, what is up guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna tell you why you need an audio interface, if you need it or if you don't need it, and I'm gonna review my new audio interface, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd generation. In my previous video talking about SonarWorks and showing you how awesome it is, I tell you why I have this new audio interface, so if you want to know it, just go to the previous video. And today I'm gonna review this one, I'm gonna tell you if it's good, if it's not good, and I'm gonna also compare it with my previous one. But before going to the topic of the video, I just want to say thank you for this awesome year. It's been a crazy year, I grow a lot, especially here in YouTube. I got a really big support in my masterclass and also in my sample pack. If you want to get them, the links are down in the description. We are almost 15,000 subscribers. I got 500,000 views on my how to make hardstyle tutorial, and that's crazy. And well, we're growing every day a little bit. So I just want to say thank you and Merry Christmas to everybody. And also don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, okay guys? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. So wow, do you need an audio interface? In my opinion, if you're using headphones, probably you don't need it, but if you're using speakers, you do. If you're only using headphones, you can just plug your headphones to your computer or to your laptop and just that, work with that. Because the audio interface shouldn't be at least touching too much the sound, you know, shouldn't be coloring the sound, so you can just plug to the computer and the audio interface that the computer have is gonna be good to know. But if you're using speakers, I recommend you to have it, because of course you can just plug the speakers to your computer or to your laptop, but you know, it's a bit annoying because you're gonna have to decrease the volume or all the time in the DAW, just go into the settings of your computer and decrease in there. And just having a knob where you can increase and decrease the volume is so useful. There are some kind of audio interface out there that just let you connect the speakers and there you can control the volume. But actually, if you're gonna spend money on that, I recommend to spend a bit more or even the same amount of money to get an audio interface where you're gonna be able to record things. And of course, if you're gonna record vocals or you're gonna record instruments, you need an audio interface where you're gonna plug the microphone or the instrument. You cannot do that just directly to your computer. So well, let's start about the review of my new Focusrite. I think first of all that the build quality is really good. You know, it's made of metal or aluminum and it looks so strong. It also looks so professional in my opinion, and the backside looks so clean, and I actually like that a lot. We have here the USB-C port. This is the USB cable that comes with this audio interface, and as you can see, it's USB-C to USB-A, so you can connect it to your computer. And here we have, of course, the outputs, you know, the left and the right output to connect your speakers. If you go to the front side, maybe you're thinking that it's so complex. We have a lot of buttons and knobs and so, but actually it's so simple. We have here two audio inputs. This is just one thing, and this is a clone, you know, the left input and the right input. So what we have here is just the microphone input that also is a line or instrument input. So you can connect out on the circle the microphone, and here you have the line input. And if you're going to use an instrument, here you have a button where you have to just press it so the audio interface knows it's an instrument. Here you have the volume knob for the input, and actually it's so cool because you don't really need to turn this up to the max. I've tested this with my microphone to make the videos, and actually on 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock was enough. And it's so cool because around it has a LED circle, so if the input is way too loud and it's saturating and distorting, it's gonna get red. So if you see that red, you know that you don't need to shout that much or just turn down the volume a bit. It also have this button here, the air function, and the air function is so cool because what it's gonna do is increase the air frequencies, so basically the high end. So it's gonna help, for example, when you're recording vocals and you want to make them to sound a bit more natural, or your microphone is not that good on highs, you can just test this and probably it's gonna help. For example, I tested it to make this video, and actually I didn't really like it for these tutorials, but I think it's so useful when you're gonna make like a draft and you have a microphone and a guitar at the same time, just to, you know, get the idea. I think it's gonna help to make the vocal stand out more, because as you're gonna boost the high end of the vocal, you know, the vocal is gonna stand a bit more. Also, this microphone preamp is actually pretty good. It sounds a bit cleaner than my previous audio interface, and also it adds less noise. Almost all the audio interface, if not all, add a bit of noise to the sound, you know, to the microphones, but this one actually adds a lot less than my old audio interface. And well, if you enable the air function, it's gonna add a bit more of noise, but of course because you're boosting some frequencies. So as I said, this is just a clone of this one. So this one input and this is the second input, and both have the option to have just the microphone or line instrument input. Then here we have the 48-volt function. So if your microphone, for example, as this one, needs a phantom power, just press that and you can use the microphone. And now here we have the direct monitor option. As you can see, it has one circle here and two circles on the other side, and that's just mono and stereo direct monitor option. So why is this good? For example, when I'm recording these videos, I'm using OBS, and with OBS, yeah, OBS is recording the vocal, but I'm not hearing myself back. So if I want to hear myself back, what I can do is just enable the direct monitor. But well, of course, to make these videos is not really useful. But when you're recording vocals, for example, in FL Studio, what happens? You go to a mixer channel, you say in this mixer channel, I'm gonna use this microphone. So now you talk and you hear yourself back. The thing is that if you have a big buffer size, which I recommend, you're gonna hear yourself but with a big latency, and that latency is gonna be super annoying and super confusing, especially if you're recording vocals vocals. So you have to lower the buffer size. I recommend you to put it on 256 or 512. And if you're recording vocals in an empty project, there's not going to be any problem. But if you're just recording vocals in a project where you have been working and you have a lot of things and it already uses a lot of CPU, the problem is that if you use such a lower buffer size, FL Studio is going to crash and you're going to hear crackles and that's going to be super annoying to record vocals. So at that moment, you want to increase the buffer size, but if you increase the buffer size, you're going to have a problem because you're going to hear yourself with latency and so annoying. So what you can do is just mute the mixer channel. You mute the mixer channel and you can record, the vocals are going to get recorded, but you not hear yourself. But of course, if you want to hear yourself, what you can do? That's why the direct monitor is so useful. You just press here and you hear yourself back without any latencies. Like when you're talking, you hear yourself, so the same thing. If you press one time, the first cycle is going to get enabled, and this means that it's mono, so you hear yourself in mono. And if you press two times, it's going to get the two circles, and this is a stereo. So if, for example, your microphone is on the left one, you're going to hear yourself on the left speaker, and if you're on the right one, you hear yourself on the right speaker. Or if you're using two microphones, you're going to hear both. And if you have, for example, a microphone and a guitar, the guitar is going to be on the right, and the microphone on the left, and so. If you continue, we have here the volume knob, and this volume knob is actually so cool as the microphone preamp because you don't have to turn this up to the max, and if you have it on 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, it's good enough to make music. And here we have the headphone input and the volume for the headphones. As I said before, the audio interface shouldn't be touching the sound, shouldn't be coloring it, but actually my previous audio interface actually did it. My old audio interface was like cutting a bit the lows and increasing the mids, so it was sounding like a bit boxy, if that makes sense. But actually this one is not doing that, so I hear what I should hear with my headphones. So wow, do you really need this audio interface, the Scarlett 282? Well, if you don't want to spend that much money, you can get like the previous version, that is the Focusrite Solo. But the Focusrite Solo, for example, has also two inputs, but one input is just for the microphone and another input is just for the instrument. If you're just recording vocals sometimes to make, vocals for your song or samples like I did in my sample pack, or to make videos like me, there's not a problem. But I thought maybe in the future I need to use two microphones at the same time or two instruments or so I just decided to get this one. And also a problem on the Solo is that you only have one volume knob. So you can connect, of course, your headphones, but the problem is that when you connect your headphones, the speakers are not getting disabled. In my opinion, they should turn off. You're gonna be using your headphones, you're gonna be controlling the volume with the big knob, but also you're gonna be hearing on the speakers, so you don't want that, so you have to turn the speakers off from the backside, and that's a bit annoying. But with this one, you have two volume knobs, so if you connect the headphones, you just increase the volume of the headphones and decrease the volume of the speakers, so you don't hit the speakers and you hit the headphones. But if you want to do the opposite, just turn down the headphones, you increase the speakers, and you hear now in the speakers. So I think this is super good that the Solo doesn't have, and actually this was the thing why I prefer to get the 282 and not the Solo. So well guys, this is my review about my new audio interface, the Focusrite Scarlett 282 3rd generation, and I've been testing this audio interface for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and I really like it. I think the build quality is really good. I think the microphones preamps are really good. The headphones it helped me a lot because I didn't really use headphones with my old audio interface because the problem I had, and also this one solved the problem I had with SonarWorks that you can check in the previous video. So I highly recommend this one. As I said, if you don't want to spend that much money or you don't have that much money to spend, you can get the Solo that is a bit cheaper, but the headphones issue with the volume made me get this one. I actually doesn't have anything bad to say about this audio interface, but to say something bad about it, when you control the volume, I have this on the table and it's a bit annoying to have the volume knobs on front, and I actually prefer to have it on top, but well, Focusrite built the audio interface like this, so it's just like that. I'm not going to choose another audio interface just because of this thing. And also I have to say that when you get this audio interface, you don't only get the audio interface. You also get a light version of Pro Tools and a light version of Ableton. And you also get some plugins like the Addictive Keys, that is a plugin I like a lot to use for the pianos. And you also get the Soft2 bundle plugins and a lot more things. And I think that's so cool because most of the times when you get an audio interface, you just get the audio interface. But with this one, you also get plugins. And that's super cool. So well guys, this is it. I hope now you know why you need an audio interface. And if you have some questions, just leave it down below in the comments. I just want to say thank you again to everybody that supported me this year, and let's go for a better one in the next year, 2020. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked this video, if it helped you to decide what audio interface you should get, and so. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any tutorial, any review, anything I make like my masterclass or my sample pack, the links are down in the description, or the music I produce. Thank you for watching, and guys, see you in the next video in 2020.